So when does Instagram fuel gossip versus personal growth? Imagine that you're just checking your feed one last time before bed when you see a post of one of your friends' perfect vacation and you feel these weird pangs of envy. Does that sound familiar? It happens. Social media can be harmless or it can be an emotional minefield. But here's what researchers are finding. Some of the impacts that Instagram has might say more about us than the app itself. The truth is, we don't realize how our biases and blind spots drive our emotional reactions. Welcome to the channel where I leverage my PhD in marketing to give you the inside scoop on consumer behavior research in order to power you as a consumer to be more informed and to encourage marketers in the real world to better understand and truly serve their own consumers. So whether you already work in marketing or you're a student or just someone who's curious about why we as consumers do the things that we do, I got you covered. In this video, I'm walking through some research on the way that Instagram affects us and the way that we get envious of others. Is it more likely to make us want to gossip about others, which is a negative response, or inspire us to improve ourselves, which is a positive response? To answer this question, we'll be diving into this research paper published in Computers and Human Behavior titled, "Does Instagram Make You Speak Ill of Others or Improve Yourself?" So why are they looking into this in the first place? A few different reasons. One, Instagram triggers upward social comparison. What do I mean by upward social comparison? Social comparison really just means that we compare ourselves to others. This is obviously super prevalent on Instagram where we're bombarded by other people's posts and see what they're doing, what they look like, and compare it to ourselves. I want to make a note here that Instagram can sometimes make it seem like everyone else's life is perfect and significantly better than our own. But the thing is, those seemingly expensive vacation photos and cute brunch pics, those aren't the full picture. We're motivated to present ourselves in the best possible light, so you're only seeing a series of the best in other people's lives. Behind those vacation moments might be huge fights with their family about politics, and maybe right before that brunch they were just as stressed about midterms or finals as you, or worried about failing calculus. Upward social comparison means that we compare ourselves to someone who we perceive to be superior to us, and therefore we feel inferior. Upward social comparison results in envy. We see a difference in how we see someone else and how we see ourselves. It makes us feel worse about ourselves. So we're then motivated to bounce back and do something to make ourselves feel better. I also want to clarify here that there is a difference between envy and jealousy. Envy is when we want something that someone else has, whereas jealousy is when we're afraid of losing something that we already have. So for example, if you're jealous of your significant other, it's because you're scared of losing them. What we do to make ourselves feel better depends on how we respond to these painful feelings of envy. We could bring the other person down or to level the playing field by sabotaging them somehow or gossiping about them. This would be the manifestation of what's known as malicious envy, because these feelings of envy are accompanied by hostility and resentment. This is what we typically think of when we think of envy or jealousy, and is a negative response. Or we could level the playing field by bringing ourselves up and by doing something to improve our own circumstances. This would be the result of benign envy, because we don't feel that same hostility and resentment, and this is a more positive response. So the researchers of this paper wanted to see whether Instagram would be more likely to lead to gossiping or self-improvement. So what do? Researchers had their participants track their Instagram use for 3 straight weeks. They recorded how much they actually scrolled through Instagram each day, and also indicated whether they gossiped about others more or tried improving themselves based on what they saw on Instagram. The researchers also checked these participants' personality traits and how they naturally responded to envy. Were they more prone to be resentful, hater, envious types, or more aspirational, I admire you, envious types? These tendencies shape how we subconsciously view the world, almost like those old red-blue 3D movie glasses. So, what happened? Well, the envious haters, the ones who were more prone to malicious envy, gossiped much more the more that they used Instagram. Whereas the benign, aspirational, envious types felt even more motivated to improve themselves the more that they used Instagram. So what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, we know that social media has many negative effects on us and our mental health. And of course, the designers of these apps want them to be as addictive as possible and will design features to keep us scrolling. But whether we view through malicious envy or benign envy lenses also has an effect on the way that we respond to posts on these apps. So it's important for us to understand why we're really scrolling. So what does this mean for us as consumers? It means that we should try and be more mindful of the type of envy we're more naturally inclined to. So when we see something on Instagram that makes us envious, does it make us angry and want to talk badly about this person, or does it inspire us to improve ourselves? If you're catching yourself getting angry versus actually admiring someone's post, maybe just close the app for the time being. Self-awareness is really the key here. What does this mean for marketers? Well, this means that even if your campaign gets crazy engagement, it could actually be hurting some users depending on their natural inclination towards envy. So it's important for us to design experiences that spark healthy aspirations and not unhealthy gossip sessions. Really, we should be asking ourselves, are my ads inspiring growth or accidentally stoking resentment? It's on us to do that emotional intelligence work. Well, there you have it. Looks like we gotta be a little bit more self-aware if we notice Instagram stirring up some gossip sessions instead of motivation. So no more mindless tapping without first checking out our envy lenses. And if you tend to leave your feed feeling inspired and pumped up, that's great. But remember, not everyone experiences that, so try not to judge your friends who are constantly venting and comparing themselves to others on social media. We all perceive things differently. And as always, the reference is in the description if you have access to academic journals and want to read some more. Thanks for watching.